But let's kick things off with the Raw Women's Championship match involving Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch, to run it back to where it started last year at SummerSlam in Las Vegas, Nevada, when Becky Lynch came back to beat Bianca Belair in 26 seconds for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I remember I was pissed off, mad, angry at the outcome. But for WWE to tell this story for a year, from SummerSlam to Extreme Rules to a great match they had on Monday Night Raw late last year to WrestleMania, to right now, to close out this feud in the best possible way by telling a different story via their matches every single time. None of their matches are the same, which makes this feud one of the best I've seen in the women's division in years.
Bianca Belair, I think, with, not only this feud, but just her, I feel like she is, quickly establishing herself and separating herself from the pack. And that includes the Four Horsewomen. I mean, she is creating her own lane. And, including me, I was completely opposed to Becky being this heel, even though I know, that's what she wanted and she was invested in it. But to get to where we are now and for the crowd to still be invested in this story and still care as much as they do for both of these women, it's a testament to how good they are, because this story has been fumbled a little bit in certain places. This has not been a perfect story that they've told throughout this year, but for this culmination to feel like a real culmination, and I hate saying that when WrestleMania is supposed to be the culmination of all things, but this felt like that culmination. Like, this truly did have that feel to it. And I love the energy that this had. Bianca Belair, for my money, she feels like the biggest babyface in WWE right now. Roman may be the biggest star in WWE. Bianca Belair is the biggest babyface on that roster. Drew McIntyre is that guy that, on the guy's side, but he's not Bianca Belair. Like, there is a genuine love for her. And I love watching her matches and the history that she just continues to make. This match was everything. It started off with great energy. The crowd was completely invested. I thought Becky looked great out here. Bianca just has this incredible combination of power, speed, and like, she can do literally anything in the ring. And we saw that. We saw her catch Becky and throw her with power bombs. We saw her lift Becky up with one arm. We saw her drop a power bomb and go right into a moonsault. We saw her do all these hit a Spanish fly right into the KOD. Just an incredible finishing sequence. And during the match, just some great moments. Becky has one of my favorite little spots that she does is when people go for the leapfrog, and I'm surprised more people don't counter with that. She just grabs the leg and brings them right down. I love that little move right there. There was a little bit of chain wrestling going on as far as countering, stuff like that. I think they told a great story as Becky being desperate, and Bianca being being confident and saying, I want more, let's go. And Becky being like, I have to beat you. And the two complete different spectrums that they were telling in the match. And that's at least the story that I was seeing. And, we're going to talk about this throughout the show, but I thought the commentary was pretty strong throughout. I thought Corey Graves did a good job tonight. I thought he was pretty good throughout, and especially when he links up with Michael Cole later on. But this match was, I can't think of a better way to start this show.
Yes, and ironically enough, we had two cell jobs of a shoulder injury. I think Becky's was a bit more legit because she took the glam slam and it actually hurt her right shoulder, and she was favoring it for the majority of this match. And meanwhile, she went after the left shoulder of Bianca Belair. So selling in kayfabe in real life is definitely on hand here. But Becky soldiered through, landed a diamond dust, which was a nice throwback move from her for a near fall. I love the KOD by Bianca Belair on the floor and Becky hitting the manhandle slam for a very close near fall. Got a flashback to last year's SummerSlam, but they just know each other so well and their chemistry is on point. And as you mentioned, that Spanish fly into the KOD, that transition was everything. And Becky's sell of the KOD, the flat landing finish square in the middle of the ring. Absolutely outstanding.
And one other thing that can't be undersold is Bianca Belair's reaction to winning this match, and her feeling like, you know, I finally put it into the demons, because you know what, it really does make sense for her to want to vanquish that demon that's in SummerSlam, because that's going to always be in the back of her mind. Yo, I got beaten 26 seconds. Like, what in the world happened? So the excitement and the exasperation and just the relief that you could see in her face, that's great storytelling. You know, those are the little things that she's doing that are adding to this. And like you mentioned, the extra oomph that was put into that last KOD, like, hey, I don't care, you are not getting up from this one. The story of this match, they told it beautifully. And again, it felt like a culmination. Please God. Well, they're not going to, but just, you know, now that we'll get to that here in a second, but now that they're going to be kind of working alongside each other, I'm glad we won't see them going against each other. I'd rather them not be in the ring together, but I think what we get going forward is going to work out pretty well.
Yes, and after the match is over, Becky offered her hand to Bianca Belair. Bianca obviously was a bit hesitant at first, but she shook the hand. They hugged it out. It was like a nice full circle moment, because for Bianca Belair, the cloud has been lifted. After winning at WrestleMania, the job wasn't finished. You had to right the wrong at SummerSlam, at the scene of the crime last year, to get the win back, to be the better woman. And Becky realized, you know what? She's a better woman in every way, and I respect that. And I thought, thank God we can cheer Becky again with our full chest, because she was always miscast as a heel. And even though she tried her best, the fans love her too much. They just kind of half-heartedly boo her, but deep down, she's so over and so damn likable that you can't boo her for too long. But let's talk about what happened after the match, shall we?
Yeah, and to that point, before we start, when she put her hand out, the crowd was already cheering before Bianca even made a move. Like you said, they're already ready for it, and Bianca's the right person to turn her. And then we get Bayley coming back, you know, and the reaction that Bayley got was that of someone who has been missed for over a year, and man, she got a hero's welcome. And so then Bayley comes out, she's talking her smack, and Bianca, she's probably getting flashbacks again, like, well, at least I know I don't have to have a match. That's probably the first thing that went through her mind. At least I know I'm not having a match, so that's good. But she's like, yo, what in the world's going on with y'all horsewomen always coming and interrupting me during SummerSlam? That's 2 years in a row. What the hell going on? Next thing you know, Dakota Kai come out. She get real excited for that. I don't remember if they changed her name or not. I wasn't paying that close attention to that, because it wasn't until the next name that I really started paying attention to it. But Bianca had to look like, okay, well, we got Dakota. And Dakota comes out. Now, Dakota and Bayley, that makes sense. They could both be heels. Okay, I like that. Next out comes Iyo Sky. And yes, that is formerly Iyo Shirai. I don't mind the Iyo Sky name, by the way. That is not that bad of a name. It fits her character. She flies anyway. So that's perfect. I think it's perfect. Iyo Sky is not that bad. She comes out, and listen, I don't care about the name. Iyo, regardless of what you want to say her last name is going to be on the main roster, mixing it up with a now seasoned Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Doudrop, Rhea Ripley. Like, these are all potential matches that we can now get with Iyo Shirai on the main roster, Dakota Kai. Like, so then we get this power couple. They come in the ring. Bayley thinks it's going to be all, they come. Nah, this ain't no picnic. They are not coming to be a part of your cookout. This is not your celebration cookout that they coming to be a part of. Let me tell you that. And then here comes Becky Lynch as we complete the face turn. This is the moment that we had talked about what was going to be, because Keila, you and I have been talking about this for months, what the end game of Becky Lynch becoming a babyface and what that moment was going to be. And that promo still has to happen. But this was that moment when she came and stood side by side with this woman who she just went to war with for a year, and gave that respect to, like, yeah, you earned my respect. You got it. And now she comes and stands toe to toe, outnumbered, by the way. Let's add that in there. That's another optic to add in there. They were outnumbered, still outnumbered. Even before Bianca was like, come on, Becky Lynch is like, yo, us two can still take you through, come on. The heels back off. The two outnumbered baby faces do a baby face thing, stand tall. Now we're fully behind Becky Lynch. She's still got to cut that promo. And I think the man is going to come out and will cut that promo. But this opening match and aftermath and everything about this was as perfect a way to start SummerSlam as you could do.
It was outstanding. The match, the post-match, seeing Bayley return, hearing her hear fans for the first time in 2 years. She hasn't heard that in 2 years. Think about that. And it was a beautiful moment. Then Dakota Kai comes out. I kept saying for weeks on this show, I don't know why y'all fired Dakota Kai. I was very upset. I cut a promo on this show about it for those last NXT cuts. She's back, and that was a clear sign. Vince don't live here no more. Welcome to the Triple H administration. Then Iyo Sky comes out. She's free from the PC. She's free from Florida. She's on the main roster at long last. And Scott, I was openly salivating, with all due respect, with the thought of Iyo versus Rhea, Iyo versus Doudrop, Iyo versus Asuka. Come on. Woo! Like, these matches are going to be fucking incredible. Dakota Kai on the main roster. Somebody told you 2 months ago, we don't see anything for you on the main roster. Well, you're gone. And I see it for her. And she's got a lot of combinations too against the same people I mentioned. And she's so much better as a heel. And Bayley finishing what she did with Bianca Belair last summer. I want the I Quit match. I still need it at some point. And all of this fell into place perfectly. And Triple H is like, listen, I can do surprise debuts and returns too. I can give the people what they want. I gave you a sample of what you're going to get under this new creative administration, and I loved it. I loved this first 30 minutes so much.
And you already brought up who the third woman can easily be, who can be that main event level woman, who can put on those bangers. Asuka. I mean, good Lord. You want to, I mean, that's a women's version of a Raw 6 right there going on. I mean, I love any combination of those 6 going at it. Becky, Bayley, Becky, Dakota, Iyo, Asuka, like any combination of that is incredible. You throw Doudrop in there, throw Rhea in there. That Raw roster now is very deep when you really look at it. Now, we don't need to be talking about tag titles or anything like that. I'm sorry, because they don't care about them. So we don't need to be talking about them. But if we just talking a women's roster going after Bayley and who Bayley has to look down the line like, God dang, look who I got to work with. Raw's looking very nicely. And Nikki ASH can still go. Like, she's still who she is in the ring with a stupid gimmick. She's still good in the ring. So the Raw women's roster looks very nice with those 3 additions.
Yes, as it stands right now, a damn good division. Of course, the draft will shake things up, but the core of Bayley, Iyo, and Dakota Kai, I love it. And I love the combination of Bianca, Becky, and Asuka. Those 6 women tags would be great. And I'm not going to think about the women's tag team titles there. We need more teams, and we need the return of Sasha and Naomi to make this right. And I think that might be coming down the line soon as well.
We need more teams. We need a team.
We need 10. 10 teams.
10. Hey, you asking a lot, Keela. Can we get 2? Can we get 2 teams? Not 4 women.
Let's go for 4. Let's go for 4, and then we can double every other week.
Again, all right. You know what? After tonight, I got more faith than I did before. So, I'm with that.